hikers. There's elk everywhere out here. They're all running up into here, into our fields. There's just tons and tons and tons and tons of elk out here. Like, we're probably guessing what Jens and Ellis said, probably about 150 elk, because I counted over 100, and they're still coming up from the bottom right now. Pretty cool. Look at that, he's still hanging out, he's waiting, staging, so that he can come up. So we're going to go down the bottom into the wild fields. These are cultivated fields up here, but down below along the river there's all timber and natural patches of grass and open areas, so we're going to go down there. We've seen a lot of elk down there. Look at these game trails where they cross and they go up into the fields. That's pretty serious stuff, eh? And there's hundreds of trails like that. There's elk walking up and down the fence line down there. I think they're committed to going that way now. We're a long way away, but we don't want to disturb them. We already had one of the hunters heading out on the edges of the field over there, and he pushed them all out of the way, so we're hoping it's not one of our guys. You don't do that 2 days before opening. Not when you got a herd of 100 and something elk here. Hopefully it isn't. I had cover confirmation by a 50-year-old. Starting to go, yeah, some of them must have crossed. Well, Kyle and I out here. We're giving her a shot, seeing lots. Got our spot and scope. What do you figure? We must have saw about 15 bulls, eh, Ian? Yeah, we've seen about 15, and still got a great herd out in front of us, so probably another 100 elk. Few mature bulls, but lots of young ones, and lots of calves. Looking really healthy herd. Kyle's going to get some footage here real quick while they're moving. Give you an idea how we get all that footage. A little behind the scenes to our videos. Like they're committed now, they're going that way. They're actually going to go off into the wind on the big one. That works good, eh? That's the little bigger one that I have. My little one I like for my tree stand. Well, out of the big herd, there's 3 calves that are hung up. And right over here, the cows are trying to work through the grass. Well, that was a very exciting morning. We had elk all over the place. There was probably 120, it might have been the whole 150 out there in the fields. We ended up hearing them chirping and squeaking and mewing all over. And then when we came down around below into the timber, they were all around us chirping down here and stuff, you know. So we just backed off. We put out a couple trail cameras. We're going to sort of see. I think I'm going to put a tree stand down here. Ian's going to put a tree stand down here. I might put a ground blind up over here. We got several tree stands and several ground blinds. We usually don't use them too much. We're more of the spot and trying to get a good approach on them and see if we can get them. It's much more fun. 10 times more challenging, but way more fun. Okay, there's my tree stand I just hung. Big game tree stand. Here's one of the highway trails. There's another few smaller trails down there. and they filter out of up here, so with a little bit of luck, tomorrow morning if they come down here, I might just get to stick and string myself my first East Kootenay bow elk. That'd be pretty cool. You know, that'd make me happy. I think that'd make a lot of people happy. That's my tree stand there. And about 300-400 yards that way is another highway trail, and Ian's on that one. He's putting up his tree stand over there, so we should have things covered for a little bit. We got our friends Jens and Ellis. They're going to be hunting just up the way, so we've got her covered here, hopefully. All we need is have the elk come this way. They have 3 times, so if they do tomorrow morning, we're going to have a chance. Well, we just hung our stands. Ian got his up, I got mine up.
Oh, funky little 2-point. Well, there's Kyle, we're a day before opening. Just noted his new Panasonic Lumix Super Lens. 120 zoom. Trying to get in on these bulls right here. And they're walking right by our tree stands, which are right in that dip and the next dip on the highland for opening day tomorrow. So let's see how it pans out. We got the rest of the herd. Gonna follow in suit right behind them right here. Wait. There you go. That's what I mean by the rest of the herd. Bunch of cows and calves that are having trouble getting on the fence.
Still, I'm so far away. But I tell you, if these elk do the same thing tomorrow morning, they're gonna walk right into me. If nobody disturbs them, they're gonna walk right down out there. Hopefully they'll walk within range of the stick and string.
Well, Cal just went racing by a couple small little bucks. That one there. Little youth season buck. Oh, it's tree stand setup time. There's mine. Cal's is just down here. We got a game camera on this ridge here, game camera down there, heavy trails. Hopefully it's harvest season in a day from now. Claude carried the new tree stands really good. Hopefully it works out and carries out game tomorrow. Cal's new camera, 120 zoom. Cal's new camera, 120 zoom.
There's Ian's new tree stand up. We're getting set up. Put up the big game tree stand. Well, we got out here early. Got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We came up here. I quadded way back there, about a kilometer and a half maybe, and hiked into my stand. Got here at 5:30. Been sitting up here. 7:30 now, a couple of hours. I had one whitetail, and that's it, come in. It almost came right in. I almost got it on film right here at 23 yards, but it was like 6 steps from walking out from this tree right here. See what it was, and a truck came cruising down and out there on the power line and scared it away. So that was all. And I guess Mike's out on the other side out there, and he said that they've all gone. They weren't there by the time it was light, so the big herd had left early. Ian said down the way, he's just a couple, like 400 yards that way in his tree stand, and he said that 6 bulls crossed but about 300 yards from him, so well outside of bow range. But we're going to climb down out of the tree and go for a cruise down into the couple thousand acres of timber down below along the river and see if we can't get into something. Stay tuned. Opening day. This is a view from my stand. I was planning on taking a shot right there. There's a trail running by there. That'd be a 40-yard shot, 45 yards actually. And then basically it'd be 40, 30, 20. Right out there it's going to be 50, about 50 right there, about 40, 30, 20. So we will see what happens here. Let's go for a cruise down below. Well, Ian just spotted a couple of elk as he got down out of his tree stand on the ground, and they're held up just across from him. There's a truck that drove down the power line. The power line's about maybe 200 yards from me here, and well, maybe not that far, but 175 yards from me here, and I'm just below the power line off the fields. So is Ian, and I guess just across in the timber he can see 2 elk, but they're held up because there's a truck down the way, like half a kilometer or something, and it's spooking the elk. But on the other side of the timber, Mike's over there, and Mike has 2 bulls over there with forks up top, like spikers with forks or something, so he's just going after him right now and seeing if he can put an approach on him and maybe get an arrow into one of them. But Ian had told me to come down, but he said now I should hang tight here because he's got a couple of elk over here, so stay tuned, we might have something going on. Oh, and also I talked to Daryl, and Daryl had a couple of bucks, whitetail bucks, but he couldn't get a shot at them. But we're having fun. Opening morning, September 1st, 2014. Well, that was a fun start to the morning. Hike back to the quad and head down below. See if we can't get into him again. Wipe some dust off this lens maybe. Okay, we started out up on the hill and we spotted a couple of elk down here. So we came down, parked the quads about 1.5 kilometers back there, and I've just worked my way in. Now I'm going to cut in the edge of the bush on the side of the river here. I did this last year on the 9th, the last day of bow season, and 4 elk ran away from me and I just couldn't get a shot. And then the next day on the 10th, rifle opened. I was down here with my rifle and bow closed, and I had a cow walk right up to me to like 2 feet to me. So I mean, I could have took it easy with the bow the day before, but it was closed now. So let's go give it a try and we'll see if we can't get into him. I'll show you where I was. I was up on top of this hill. And I glassed from up there. Then you can spot the elk or deer or whatever. And then come down and park over by those trees and then hike in here. I've seen lots of deer in here too, so. It's the Kootenay River. Hey, good evening. We're on the evening of the first night, September 1st, opening day bow season here. Just going to go climb into my tree stand, sit there for the last 3 hours of light, and hopefully some elk will come up. It's really windy, swirling around, so they might not want to come this way, but I gotta try. It's a good spot. They came, I think, 3 out of the first 4 times I looked, they went that way, and then unfortunately the 5th time they didn't, and that's opening morning, so I sat there and they didn't come that way, but that's okay. We'll go give it a try. If we keep plugging away, you put yourself in there, and that's how you get it done. You certainly won't get it done sitting at home on the couch, but I love being out here anyway, so. Well, this morning went pretty good. We had a few people saw some stuff. Mike got on 2 spike bull elk and he almost got them. He got in real close, but no dice. Ian had, he saw some elk, but they were like 300 yards away, so that's no good with the stick and string. But as he climbed out of his tree stand, he saw some elk, so he put the approach on them and he almost got into them, but he bumped into some other hunters, so that didn't work out so well. And me, I kind of got other hunters kept cruising by and stuff, so I guess when you put yourself between the fields and the timber where the power line is, like me and Ian did here, because that's where the elk were traveling, you always got to take the risk of getting some hunters getting in your way. There's a lot of road hunters out there who don't get out of the truck much, but anyway, pretty good day. I ended up I went down below after that, and I had a cow elk come into 40 yards to me. If I had known it was an elk right away, I would have had my bow up, but I never knew it was until it was too late, and she was coming to see what I was, so I guess she heard me hit the bushes or something, so she came to look and busted me and ran off. But it was fun just to see her. Big, huge, juicy cow. She looked good. And Daryl, he had 2 bucks come in by him. He almost got one. He said the one back was like a good 4x3 or something. Real nice whitetail, so that would have been cool. Dave and them, they didn't get into him this morning, but they got good spots down below, so they put their stands in that, and they're all set up to go. And Ron in their group, he got a nice calf elk this morning, so he's stoked. Last year he went home with nothing, so you gotta love that. Good juicy calf, they'll be beautiful eating. Basically goes Ellis, then Daryl, then Ian, then me, then then Mike, and then Jens. So we kind of got this whole thing covered. I mean, they can get by us like nothing because we're talking about thousands of acres here, but still, it's fun to try, right? And hopefully I'll get something on film. Let's go get to her and we'll see what happens. First night in the East Kootenays for 2014. Bow hunting, September 1st. Sun's going to be going down the next little bit. Hopefully the elk will start coming up from the river bottom. With a little bit of luck, I'm going to walk on one of these trails here. I got a trail right here that's probably about 22 to 25 yard shot. And I got a heavy trail over there that's about 40-45 yard shot. So,
well, set up here. Night one, going pretty hard on the pretty bendy tree at the top here. It's good. I feel a little sketchy enough you can see me bouncing around with my pack and it's blowing and on. I might have to run. These trees are around pretty good, but I think it's used to them not that high. This is a snap at the bottom. Had some elk out in front of me this morning, but it was heavy and hunters, so we put back here in a bit. Hopefully we get one.
well, it's pretty windy out. Have to see if they even move. Nothing's moved yet. Might be held up down at the river. Wait for the wind to calm down after dark, and then maybe they'll come up. Oh, it was a fun day anyways.
Well, day 2 elk hunting, East Kootenays. Had 2 bulls this morning. They came in right below me down in here. One was rubbing a tree back in here. And fortunately, they went out 100 yards right there on that dirt patch and walked up that way. Just out of reach. It was a close call. Nice 5 and a 4 point already rubbed out. A nice spike, and I think they were rubbing a tree down below me. I'm going to go take a look. I did get out of my stand and go to put a stock on him, but couldn't see him again. A good setup here. Sort of a connecting path there that comes out from the fields. Really good trail below me, and one over there. They come up and down here. Good setup. GoPro with I Am Outdoors. I keep my mount right there for my camcorder. I just swivel it back and forth. Check in there.
A little bit of Kootenay sunshine. Pouring rain. Good news is it never lasts. It's only be on for a little bit, and then it'll all be gone. No fires right now. This is camp. Just getting ready to go. Spike elk, spike bull elk. This is Joe's field. Sean went up into Ian's field, so I couldn't do it. But as it turned out, as I was coming over here, I spotted this, but I had already spotted a bunch of elk up here in the top backfield where Ian used to always hunt. The island over from this island is my island, the second island, but That field back there is where Ian always hunted, and right now there's a bunch of elk up there, so I'm going to go try and park my quad up here and hightail my butt in before it gets dark, right up over that hump. It's about 1.5 kilometers, and hopefully we'll get close to some elk. Let's go try. Well, here we go. Gonna go make an approach. Last half hour of light. Spotted a bunch of elk up in the field up here, so let's go see if we can somehow get close enough to get them with a stick and string. Well, it's too dark to show you. Right over there, there's a sow and 2 cub grizzlies. And then over here, there's beef cows. And over here, there's elk. You saw me show you that spiker, you just can't see him, it's too dark. But trust me, there's elk up there, there's 4 elk. There's a bunch of beef cows there. And there's a sow and a 2 cub grizzly. They must be on that cow kill that I heard about. I didn't think it was here, but I guess it is. Or else it's another one. Or something's going on up there, but anyway, I'm going to try and get up here before I run out of light. Well, my place is in shambles. Just been hunting too much, haven't been at home enough. That's the way it goes, but anyways, as I head up over the hill there, it got dark, so I couldn't see, unfortunately. So what ended up happening was that elk were there, but the elk ended up that they had moved down probably about 100 meters down the way, so I ended up taking my backpack off, left everything behind, just took my bow, snuck down along the edge, and by the time I got up over the hill there, they had moved out probably 150, 200 yards out in the middle of the field, so there was no way to get near them, and it was getting dark. So that was the end of day number 2. But we'll keep trying. Stay tuned, because there's lots more fun coming up.